cannot help but spoil the party for all the bulls. We're going to get back to the market in just a second.
Wyoming Republican Cynthia Lummis was one of the Budget Committee members listening to Ben Bernanke today.
And not only is she 100% in favor of the Fed chairman's call to rein in government spending, she wants to begin it all right now. We welcome you, Congresswoman. Thank you for being here. So specifically, where should we cut? I understand you got your own plan to cut over $1 trillion.
We should be cutting it across the board, exempting only security, homeland security and defense. We should go back to spending levels that were around 2006, 2007. We should look at every program to see if it was ever intended for the federal government to be involved in. So we need to take a very comprehensive and deliberate look at our budget.
You know, Congress, you make a great point here. If spending had stuck at the level of 2001 at the rate of inflation back then, we'd be $1 trillion lower. But what was your sense of how Ben Bernanke is feeling and his thinking about the spending that he's been talking about this for some time before Congress? Do you feel he's getting exasperated?
He has been concerned primarily about the trajectory of spending. It has gone up so dramatically, and if you project it out into the future, say to the year 2046, the charts we had today shows that it is just unsustainable and will heap debt on our children and grandchildren. So yes, he's very concerned. I am co-sponsoring a package that was prepared by our ranking member Paul Ryan in the Budget Committee. You can see it on AmericanRoadmap.org. Also sponsoring a group of bills that over 10 years would cut spending by about $1.3 trillion, including a workforce reduction bill.
Well, Congressman, we have looming over us right now this deficit committee. Lord knows what they're going to come up with, but chances are some of it will include tax hikes because you have people like the head of the former head of the SEIU in there, folks who aren't known to cut expenses of the government, but who are known to raise tax rates. What happens if we get a suggestion like that from the deficit committee?
Well, you also have members like Paul Ryan, Jeb Hensarling, and David Camp, who are going to be fighting in that committee for cutting versus tax increases. Because if we learned anything from Japan in the 1990s, it's don't raise taxes during a recession. So we need to be very careful about the manner in which we handle the recommendations of this commission when they are handed to us in December.
You know, Congressman, we're seeing slowly but surely the deficit is really becoming a campaign issue. Are the Blue Dog Democrats finally getting it, and are the other Democrats getting it as well?
Now, on the Budget Committee, you have the biggest spenders on the Democrat side and the most conservative people on the Republican side. So we see this chasm in that committee. I don't know how we're going to bridge it unless the American people in November decide that they're going to elect more fiscal conservatives to Congress.
We have to leave it at that. Representative Cynthia Lummis, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate you coming in.
My pleasure, David. Liz.
Thank you. Next.